Bid Order is by far one of the most badly written shows I have seen in a very long time. The narrative resembles more so a comedy strip or a parody of shows, except that the anime is trying to be serious and not trying to create any satire whatsoever. While there were many parts of the anime I will put into the so bad it's good bin, by the end, the narrative became even more of a convoluted mess, and all the fun I had with the series quickly diminished. Hell, when I saw the announcement for the show, I initially thought it was going to be a slice of life show about working in the fast food industry or some shit, since I knew nothing about the show beforehand. But what we got was in fact far worse than that. After learning that Bid Order was in fact created by the same author as Mirai Nikki, I completely understood why the show was so bad. And I personally think that Mirai Nikki, while also not being too great in his own terms, is 10 times better in its writing than this show. Normally an author is supposed to get better the more he writes, not the other way around. Hell, all the characters in Bid Order look exactly like Mirai Nikki characters, and this problem is only further emphasized in the goddamn manga. Hell, the new freaking Yuno clone looks exactly like her. The story is perhaps the most stupid thing I have ever seen. It starts off with an extremely vague flying chick who goes around granting wishes to people, and after asking the main character about 100 fucking times, he replies by saying he wants to destroy the world, being largely influenced by his favourite cartoon. The world was destroyed by a fucking cartoon. Anyway, we cut 10 years into the future, because fuck continuity, where we see the world has been destroyed, and even after a massive calamity, society seems to have progressed enough to build another goddamn high school. Like, what the fuck? I certainly haven't lived through a disaster, like the world being destroyed, but I highly doubt a school or sometimes whole cities would still be running. But hey, who gives a fuck, right? It's anime. It also turns out that the fairy woman was granting wishes to many other people, giving them powers to make their wishes come true, and these people are referred to as orders, and are hated by the general public. Also, if this goddamn fairy chick was granting random wishes to people, then why the fuck didn't anyone wish for the world to be fixed or something? Was Eiji the last person she ever granted a wish to? Anyway, Eiji is our main character, who pissed me off straight away from his introduction. He is an edgy as fuck teenager, and the world hates him, while also having a rather intimate relationship with his sister. Why? I don't fucking know. Is incest going to be in every shitty show now? And it's not like it's even subtle either. They literally have sex with each other. And don't even give me that stupid excuse of, oh, they're not really brother and sister, they're not related by blood. Fuck you. While on his way home from school, he is attacked by a Yuno clone. Except minus everything that made Yuno a fun character. She vows vengeance on Eiji, since he was the one who caused the Great Destruction, which killed her parents. During the fight, he showcases his power, which literally looks like a poor man's version of a stand from JoJo. In fact, every power is literally a JoJo stand, except they're all CG and look like total shit, and none of the powers are ever developed or explained. Anyway, Eiji can control things within his domain, and manipulate things within that space to do whatever he says. So not only is a show like JoJo, it's also like goddamn Code Geass. He even wants to take over the world in the name of peace, just like fucking Lelouch from Code Geass. While Yuno clone is in his domain, she is unable to kill Eiji, but over the course of the show, she begins to fall in love with him, with the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Because Eiji kind of said that he'd marry her or something, and this makes absolutely no fucking sense. So during the entire anime, we have this awkwardly cringe-worthy relationship building up, which leads to nowhere, mind you. It's just fucking terrible writing. After deciding to take over the world for the sake of peace and to protect his sister, he is made king of some kind of organization or whatever. I don't fucking care anymore. Why should I care when the anime gives me no reason to? We are introduced to all these characters who are supposedly the strongest, but they barely have any screen time, and pretty much are all useless for fuck's sake. Imagine every other organization you've seen in any other anime, like the Katsuki or the Espada or whatever the fuck. These guys are total shit. The characters are boring, there's no originality here, it's just terrible. The plot is all over the goddamn place, and nothing makes any goddamn sense. Things happen at random, all of the characters are stupid beyond belief. We rush through the plot at breakneck speed, never allowing for any plot or character development at all. No character is likable in the slightest, and no one is ever developed. For a while the show could be pretty entertaining, since it was so bad it was good, such as in episode 4, when a fucking nuke is dropped right above Eiji's head, and he stops it with his bare fists. Wouldn't it explode, you know, from the impact of him touching it with his fucking hands? Why didn't the people aim the nuke a few miles away from their location to ensure that it can't be stopped? Who fucking cares? The anime tries way too hard to be edgy, featuring plenty of leg and arm amputations, and some of the worst censoring I have ever seen in a very long time for any kind of nudity. Don't you love scenes that are fucking 90% white light? There were some parts that were just fucking stupid, like the one scene in which Eiji touches the ears of the Mito character, and she becomes pregnant. What the fuck? And also she begins to muster feelings for Eiji, because you know we don't have another one of those fucking characters. It's the end of the world, guys. Fucking everyone love Eiji. Fall in love with the fucking main character. We don't have the fucking sister, the Uniclone, and the fucking Mito all fall in love with this guy. And Eiji has no personality to speak of, so why did this happen? Plot absolutely makes no fucking sense, and it never develops on any of its ideas or themes, of what little things it had to begin with. And the characters are badly written. There are trappy animation and bad CGI, a dull script and extremely forced plot twists that made no sense in the end. Combining all of that with one of the worst endings I've ever seen makes for one of the worst anime of this year. In conclusion, Big Order was absolutely terrible. It only had 10 episodes and can barely develop anything in those 10 episodes. Shows like Konosuba can do that fine, but shows like this, which is more heavily focused on a plot, it just falls apart. This show makes Mirai Nikki look like a goddamn Shakespeare play. Fucking kill me.